What's up, peoples? Welcome back to See These CDs, where in each one of these videos I try and take a closer look at a select CD from my own personal collection. If you haven't already figured it out, today we're going to be talking about the 2004 CD, Urban Legend, which is made by T.I. So it was released, more specifically, November 30th, 2004. It's a little bit over an hour, clocks in at 71 minutes and 35 seconds. So yeah, it is one of the more lengthy CDs, and it was released under Atlantic Records, which is a music company, in relation to Warner Brothers Music. As far as the art direction and design, the art direction and design was handled by Greg Gigendad Burke, which I don't know if the Gigendad is his actual name, or if that's like a stage name or a moniker. He basically did art direction and design for practically all of T.I.'s CDs, or every CD that T.I. released that he was affiliated with, essentially. He's worked with a lot of other big names as well. I seen Trey Songz, Wiz Khalifa, Bruno Mars, and even Jay-Z, within his roster. He had some other bands that he did art direction and design for as well. I just wasn't too familiar with those names, but yeah, he had a pretty substantial resume. And as far as the photography goes, that was handled by the person responsible for the photography is Jonathan Mannion. Which, talking about having a lengthy resume, Jonathan Mannion, I believe, got his start with Jay-Z for the Reasonable Doubt cover. And that I think that was dated sometime in 1996. Now, he's had a pretty substantial and lengthy resume, spanning all the way from 96 to 2013. And when I say substantial and lengthy, what I'm really trying to communicate is that he's had or done photography for, or from what it would seem, dozens of albums per year from big acts. We're talking Jay-Z. The last album I seen was Tyga, which I'm not a super big Tyga fan, but he's in all Jay-Z CDs from what I could see. DJ Khaled was up there. LL Cool J, Exhibit. There's so many names. There's so many names. Check out Jonathan Mannion's work. It's very. There's a lot. That's all I can really say. There's a lot of artists that he's affiliated with and their photography for, as far as their CDs and singles and things of that nature. But if we just want to get into the cover, from what you can see, the aesthetic of the album is, it's more of a green and orange, with some of the pictures being in black and white. T.I. is basically dressed to fit that theme. I don't know if he was just dressed this way, and then they just played off of how he was dressed in the picture, just make it correlate with the rest of the album, or make it fit with the picture. Granted, it's the cover, the CD cover art, so it would make sense. And I'm assuming he's in the fatigues, the fatigues probably because the album title is Urban Legend, so it makes sense that he'd be wearing urban camo. I don't know if that is specifically urban camo, or if that's a different pattern. It might be, but that's just where I thought, the whole the camo jacket fit into the theme of the album. The front cover, we can just see it's T.I. I guess almost seems like he's mid ball in a fist. I don't know if that's a fist for power or what. But he's putting up his hand, and the right hand, and it's just in his face tilted, staring at you, on the front cover. We got the T.I. and what would appear to be it looks like those markers people use to get up. By get up I mean do graffiti and stuff like that. A paint marker on the left corner, on the orange, and then I said, we got the black and white picture in the background. I'm assuming it's probably T.I.'s neighborhood. If we want to just to give you guys, because it's propped open, so we also have a continuation of the brick on the I don't know, I guess this would be the CD's binding. You're able to see Grand Hustle Presents Urban Legend in orange, on that binding, and it's over the brick, which matches the house in the background. If we want to flip it around to the back, we we just got T.I. Same clothes as the front or the cover. He's leaning up against a fence. Seems like he's in like a factory building, or maybe he's like waiting for the train or the bus or something like that. But yeah, he's just leaning up against the fence. Like I said, the background is all black and white while T.I. is in color. Then we got like the track list in the white on the right, or more toward the center. Underneath is like where T.I.'s jacket lands. You have Atlantic Records, Atlantic, and then you have Grand Hustle. Then you have like T.I.'s how you can contact him in that lower left-hand corner as well. We have like CD credits, probably things you have to include for legalities. Just trying to get a close-up shot of the back so we can check all that out. I believe this was T.I.'s first CD. The first CD I heard by T.I. was Paper Trail, which I thought was dope. I believe both of the artists, Greg Gigendad Burke, as well as Jonathan Mannion, were also affiliated with that as well. Just get that into focus, just so we can take a look at the cover of the actual CD itself. I'll go ahead and pop that off there. It's like orangish yellow, I guess you call it like a citrus like background. And with like the green paint marker for T.I.'s name, as well as the title of the CD. We have once again Atlantic and Grand Hustle Records, that's also it's pretty interesting too that like T.I. was always about owning his own label, even back then when people weren't really like talking so much about that. I mean, that's like kind of like the birth of the internet age. If I shine the light right there, so basically it's just like the paint is scratched off. I want to get like like the label credits and things like that in there, as well as the title of the label. And then we have the executive producers at the bottom. You can see that. Try and get a little still shot. Pan around to the back of the CD. Just because, why not? Give you guys the full effect, and then get that into focus. All right. So then we just got T.I., which seems like it's the same. I don't know if it's like a housing complex, but from the background of the front cover, T.I.'s leaning up against the door. Really just, I might be wrong, but it really just looks like he took off his jacket and maybe threw on a hat. I understand it's a photo shoot. He's just coming up. Might not have a lot of dough for like different wardrobes or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, it doesn't look bad or nothing like that. It's just something I noticed. It doesn't seem like too different from the front. Now I kind of want to check. I want to go to the front. I mean, he's wearing a hoodie, so I might be wrong. But it was just a hypothesis or whatever. But yeah, so now if we want to go ahead and get into the booklet, let's put that in the background. Try and get a little more lit shot of that, just in case you guys want to check that out. All right, so the booklet, I guess we can go. Should we go to the back? No, let's not go to the back yet. Yeah. All right, so if we open up the front cover, I thought this was pretty interesting. It almost looks like on the first page, the left-hand side, it almost looks like like some like I don't know, some Grecian art. I may be like categorizing that wrong, but I'm just more so referring to like the typography. Like it looks like tiles. But yeah, I thought it looks pretty cool. At the very top, the first track being the largest typography, and then it gets smaller as we progress in track title, which is it's pretty dope. I just thought it was a good way to like which I'm not really it's not like I see like other. Which to be honest, I didn't really care too much for the To Pimp a Butterfly, like the way not the CD, but just the way the tracks were listed on the book, with that like handwriting. I think that was Kendrick Lamar's handwriting. I can fact check that later. But yeah, we just got some like labels, credits at the bottom. But yeah, I like this though. I think this is like simple, and then it leaves like the rest of the booklet for just like visuals like this, with T.I. and like multiple elements. I'm assuming like around Atlanta, his stomping grounds, whatever. So if we just want to go to the next page, it gets further into the credits. Once again, following that like almost Grecian theme, we have the border. You see it's like this interlinking like squares. So then we have half of the track titles up to track 10 on this page with all the credits. So just more detailed. Once again, another shot of T.I. On the right-hand side. It seems like it's in front of the same housing complex. I don't know if... I'm assuming that must be like, either his house or, like I said, like a housing complex where he's like, from in Atlanta. All right, so like on this page, we just have Ti once again. Seems to be in front of the same housing complex or house. Still unsure, exactly like what type of building this is. It returns like to the original theme, black and white background. We have Ti in color. He's wearing like an Atlanta like what's I'm assuming it's probably a fitted because 2004. I don't think snapbacks was really popping back then like that. And he's just looking off to the left hand side. Pondering, but it's a pretty decent picture. I think like I was saying before, like granted, I'm sure they could have included this regardless, but with the track listens the way they were listed before, I think it definitely frees up a lot of space for things like this, which I think that's where like the whole design and packaging really shines. But it's pretty cool. That's an interesting picture. Looks like a young ass Ti. Not that Ti is like really seemingly aged like that, but yeah, that's pretty cool. So I don't know what type of collage or artwork he's standing in front of, but he got the pinstripe suit with the cigar, just looking, scowling directly into the camera. It's not a bad shot. Once again, we return to the almost like I said before, how I categorize it, Venetian style, typography and design for the rest of the track listings and their credits on the right hand side. So I'll just try and get like a decent still of this, just so we can, I don't know if, I always do this, just in case anybody wants to read any of this stuff, they can pause the video. We got executive producer credits and everybody responsible for putting together the CD at the bottom listed. Then if we want to go to the last page, once again, Ti suited up. Looking young as hell. Just grinning. Looks happy. Pretty cool picture. With some liquor. If I have more money, I probably know what kind of liquor that is. But I don't drink like that either. Like I drink, but I don't really drink like that. But yeah, it's not a bad background. I guess, maybe what we were seeing, from the beginning to the end, in terms of like the pictures, is like where he's come from to where he is now. Like balling, chilling, sipping some drinks, probably looking for some ladies, I don't know. And I think that wall in the back is pretty cool too. I don't know if this is so much intentional, but we go from like the black and white brick to the colored brick, in the background. Like I said, I think it just symbolizes like transitioning from where he was to where he is now, or where he was at the time that this CD dropped, and then return to like the Grecian style. Typography and design. We just have a thank you from Ti, which is it isn't unconventional to see when artists make their drop their CDs. They tend to thank everybody, or everybody that comes to their mind. Get some still shots in, so you guys can read this if you need to. And we can just go to the back. We saw a little bit of the back at the very beginning as well. But yeah, we'll just check this out. I'm assuming this is like, actual signage from his complex building. But yeah, so I mean, that was T.I.'s 2004 CD, Urban Legend. I hope everybody enjoyed, us checking that out. If you have any suggestions for any CDs you might want to see, I'm definitely still actively purchasing CDs. I'm just getting into like, the beginning of my collection. I own a few T.I. CDs. Like I said, my beginning with T.I. as far as like, really diving into his work. I'll begin with Paper Trail. So yeah, we're definitely going to be covering other T.I. CDs as the series moves along. But this has been See These CDs. Thanks for checking us out. And all right, people, peace.